about, you know, when he first started with this process. He said, from the beginning, I tapped into this river of peace that has gone throughout my entire life in a very powerful way. I'm almost never bothered with anxiety the way that I was before, even when really stressful things happen. And, you know, that's, as I said, that's one of the first things that people notice is what used to really bother them before. They're just not fazed by, because they have this deeper understanding of themselves and this deeper trust for the world and for their life. So imagine if you were able to live in flow and grow your impact and be the best parent that you can be. That's really what this is all about. And I'm really excited to get started with Katie now. And as I said, this shift that we're going to make with her, you will all experience this as well. So you can get into a quiet space and really tune in. You can close your eyes, get really comfortable. You can take notes, write in your journal as it's happening. You're going to want to notice what comes up for you, what thoughts and feelings and sensations come up, because you're going to start experiencing this shift deep within yourself. So I'm going to close that. Okay, awesome. Well, welcome, Katie. So good to see you.
Thank you, Sarah. I'm excited to be here tonight.
Yeah, I'm excited to have you. And if anybody else has any questions, feel free to type it in the comments now and we can get to it at the end. So Katie, do you have an intention for how you want to level up and shift this evening?
I do. I just did a ceremony with a fellow group of healers last night with the new moon, and my intention is ease. It was the word that came to me last night, and I just want to flow with that. I have a lot of new pieces in my life with my business exploding, homeschooling. This is my 10th year of homeschooling 3 kids, and there's just a lot of pieces, and I want it all to just fit together like a little puzzle, just really easy.
Beautiful. I love it. I love it. And I love that's something that you want. A lot of people feel like it's not worth having if it's easy. And I love that you're just really embracing that this can be easy and that that's something you're looking for. Okay. So what do you feel like is the biggest thing getting in the way of that ease right now?
I think there's just a lot of new pieces for me.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like all of it is just very new. And so it's just a matter of getting into synchronicity and having balance between all the pieces. Like all the pieces are doing pretty well. There's going to be different balance on different days. Some days I'm going to be doing more work in my office with my clients, and my kids are going to be more out and doing their own thing independently, and just being really very happy with that, no matter what each day brings. There's going to be other days where the balance is more me just doing self-care or doing school with the girls. And so just making sure that no matter what the day holds, I'm really happy with that result, knowing that things are balanced overall, not just in a single day or a single hour.
Okay. So we're going to level up ease and flow. And I'm just going to check in. And for everybody who's new to this, I'm just going to read the energy from Katie's situation. And by the way, everything that we're doing right now, this is something that you can learn pretty easily. I know it might seem like, oh my gosh, I could never do that. But this is something that you can learn to do for yourself and even for your clients. So I'm just going to read the energy into this and see if there's anything that we need to release. So Katie, you can close your eyes and just tune in. Let me know if you have any feedback, like if anything comes up for you that you want to share, feel free to just interject and share that.
I think the word acceptance is coming up for me, like just accepting each day for what it is.
Okay. Okay, and then what came up for me when you said acceptance is something to release is attachment. Does that resonate with you?
Yeah, I definitely, I mean, being that this is my 10th year in homeschooling,
Mhm.
we have a way, we have a way we do things. And so now with my business being a major new factor in my life,
Mhm.
and really doing so well, it's like, okay, I don't need to be attached to the way we've always done it. We can do it a new way.
Yeah, and then also looking into attachment to the way that you've been relating with your family. Um, because it can be really easy, especially with homeschooling, to become for our kids to become dependent on for our kids to become overly dependent on our attention. And it's this delicate balance. Like, we want to be an emotional support for them, um and we can also give them plenty of space, plenty of space to grow, and spending plenty of space to really be themselves and in their own ways. So in a way, the more busy us moms, especially like homeschooling moms, the more busy we become, the more they kind of have to find their way with a lot of things. That being said, I'm not talking about neglect, and I know you're not talking about that either, Katie, but so there's that fine balance. But it can be really challenging when we're not used to having such a busy schedule. It can be really challenging to accept, like, you know what, my kids are going to be okay on their own for these hours. How does that feel to you?
Um, I would just expand on that. My
Mhm.
kids have always done their homeschool work fairly independently, and I've always had quite a lot on my plate. I think the difference for me this year is actually something that I've been wanting. So I totally manifested this.
Mhm.
It's just new. So it's accepting the newness. And that is rather than focusing so much on academics, they are seeing me as a female entrepreneur,
Mhm.
creating my new business as a coach and helping other women. And they are inspired and they're wanting to do things that are not just math and science and
Mhm.
literature, so they're breaking out of the box. They're doing more self-care. They're doing yoga, things that I've always wanted them to implement. So some of the things, like my oldest is in ninth grade, and I feel like, wow, that's really serious, right? We're doing
Mhm.
high school. And it's like, okay, well, we have definitely not done as much pre-algebra as I wanted to so far this year, but she's learning how to exercise and she's journaling and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And the reality is that's what I want her to know more.
Right.
That's more important. But just I think there's an inner part of me going, well, you got to teach her all the stuff that she would learn at school. And so just accepting that, like, it's good that it looks different this year.
Okay. So it looks like we can release control, like release the need for control and attachment. Um, And just for a little bit of context, Katie has done a lot of work. She's going through it's called Miracle 90. It's like the sister program to Recharge. And she's going through that now, and she has done a lot of initial work. So I actually don't feel the need to release a whole lot with her. We're going to focus more on up leveling. Um, and I can always tell when somebody's been doing the energy work themselves, because the energy just feels so clean and so bright. So just wanted to give you that feedback as well, Katie. So I'm just going to check in with this. Do we have enough information to release the need for control and attachment now? Yes, so we don't need to go deeper. Sometimes, most people, actually, we go way back into the origins of these patterns. Katie has done so much healing on that stuff, and she's done so much work that we really don't need to do that for this. It's really just about, the maintenance of releasing some of these um, leftover parts, you could say, these leftover pieces that it's kind of like the dust that's left behind. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Okay.
I always think of it like you're still going to have stuff come up every day.
Yeah,
And so
exactly.
you have to keep up.
I know, it's, you know what reminds me when I was describing that, it reminds me of my floor. Like we can do like a super deep clean in the house, but then the next day there's dirt on the floor. Like you have to just like vacuum and sweep pretty much every day in order to keep a really, really clean floor. So we're doing like a little sweep today. All right, so Katie, if you can tune in to this and really connect with this need for control and this attachment, attachment to the old way. And this is like, you know, I would imagine the little girl inside of you feels safe with the old way and might have a little bit of fear about changes and about new things coming in the unknown. And I know you're like a super brave and courageous woman. And typically that's not, I mean, look at what you've done. Like that's not a normal challenge for you, but you know, every person deals with some of these things. And so just notice, just really connect with those feelings. And let me know when you can feel the sensation in your body.
I immediately felt it in my heart.
Mhm.
And I think it's a little bit of heartache just because I love being a teacher. I mean, that's what I do for my clients. That's what I do for my kids. I've been tutoring for 10 years. I've been doing stress coping skills classes for kids for 10 years. But my heart is teaching my kids. And so a little bit of my heart is a little heartbroken. Like they're learning on their own, and that's really good. I know that's really good, but I miss being the teacher and doing the school thing as much as I used to.
All right. And can you think of a time when you were younger that something like this, like when's the first time you remember this coming up for you?
I immediately tuned into that also. I think that probably when I went to kindergarten, I remember very much being emotionally devastated leaving my mom and my little sister. Like my older brother and sister are both a decade older than me.
Mhm.
They were practically out of the house, but my little sister and my mom were still at home all day, every day. And I all of a sudden wasn't there. And I was very, I've always been highly intuitive, so school was not my comfort zone with social activities, even though I thrived academically. So I think just didn't feel like I was in my comfort zone going into the building and being with all the other people there.
All right. And how has this attachment and need for control been actually serving you? How has it been supporting you?
I think that each thing that I put myself into, I just was so fully dedicated, and I still am. But it really served me through a very, very traumatic childhood I actually became very attached to school. And that was a place where I could thrive and I could get acknowledgement, and I really felt like I was excelling all the time. And so I needed that to help me have a security and something very stable and positive in my life, while my personal life was really traumatic. And also in my adult life, I've recently exited a really unhealthy marriage, and being really attached to the really positive thing in my life, which was homeschool. I mean, I always said that's my rock, that's our stability. We don't need that to be our stability anymore because our whole life is stable now. I've created peace
Mm,
and stability in our whole life now.
I love it. I just got full body chills when you said that. It's beautiful. So you don't need this anymore. I can already feel it kind of peeling away. You know, it's like the training wheels are lifting off. Um,
It feels really
so
good to say too, because it
yeah.
feels like oh, it's not that I can't be attached to this. It's just removing that like unhealthy factor of a little bit too much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. So we're going to release that, the need for control. We're going to release the energy that's been holding on to that. And just feel that rising off of your chest. And I'm just seeing, it's like somebody's saying, it's like this little being is waving goodbye, like goodbye, so long. It was fun while it lasted.
I love that.
And there's just like a really playful element to it. Like it was one of those things where it was like, we'll just kind of hang on as long as we need to. We don't really need this. Like it wasn't anything that was like super serious, any like serious devastating attachment. And now it's just like, okay.
Yeah, it's funny. I grabbed several crystals, and one of them was my citrine, which is always like a bubbly and really light way to heal, like super passive and just like, that's okay. I'm good with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. All right, take a deep breath. Okay. All right, and what would you like to make space for?
I would like to make space for just creativity and fun in our new and secure life, like just letting our higher selves and our deepest intuitions guide us to easily changing and shifting with what our passions are.
I love it. So instead of acting from and with fear and scarcity, it's acting from love and passion.
Yeah.
And really allowing the creativity and the passion and that love to drive the decisions, to drive the schedule, to drive the routines, the rituals.
It's so funny you just said schedule. For the last few weeks I've been like, why aren't we getting anything done? And like 2 days ago I was like, I'm gonna write a schedule. I am gonna write this schedule, and I didn't, and I haven't, and it's because like that's what I would have needed to do in the past, and I like it. That's not what we need now.
Awesome. All right, so what is the message if creativity had a message for you, what would that message be?
I think this is something like I say to my kids, I say to my clients, I hear myself say this, but I need to like say it to myself. The things that we're interested in, the things that we want to do are a message. They are a divine message. And we're supposed to just follow that. We're not supposed to question. We're not supposed to understand. Like just go there and let it lead us to the next magic thing.
I love it. And if ease had a message for you, what would that message be?
It doesn't always have to be the same. Right.
Like change is okay. Change can be good. Change is okay.
Yeah. We had just such a need we just were in the throes of constant turmoil for so long that the consistency and the schedule of our homeschooling was what held us together. And now it's like we can just blow with the wind.
Yeah. All right. So feel the energy of that ease and that creativity and that love filling your heart. Notice the colors of creativity, ease, and love, and feel those colors pouring into your heart, filling your heart with those messages of it's okay for things to change. It's okay for things to be easy. It's okay to listen to that inspiration and trust the inspiration. Feel the vibration of those messages flowing through your entire body, Feel them integrating into your brain, your whole mind, your subconscious mind, your conscious thoughts. Feel those messages integrating into your vision so that you see from that place of creativity and ease in all your situations. Feel that vibration integrating into your throat, into your voice, your expressions. So that you speak with confidence of creativity and ease. Feel that vibration integrating into your heart so that you love from a place of creativity and ease. And if any of you are yawning, coughing, burping, sneezing, you feel your back popping, those are all signs of this releasing and this shifting. Sometimes sighing is a sign.
Yeah, I have my yawns and my burps.
I felt my neck popping as I said throat.
Yeah. We always kind of do that, like release at the exact same time and feel it.
Exactly. Feel this vibration integrating into your stomach, integrating into all of your emotions, allowing for that creativity and ease within all of your emotions, integrating it into your creative center as you birth your new ideas, your new creations, allowing them to come from a space of creativity and ease. And integrating this vibration into your legs and your feet, releasing any resistance to ease, any resistance to trusting that creativity and that inspiration, and allowing yourself to take every step with ease. And take a deep breath. Feel yourself inhaling this energy of ease. Feel yourself inhaling this energy of creativity. Feel those colors flowing through your entire body, circulating through your whole body. Integrating into your cells, your DNA, all of your atoms. Your atoms start dancing with ease and creativity. Everything in your body is in this beautiful harmony of ease and creativity. I just see your cells dancing and like celebrating, like, yes, we can finally like just sit back and enjoy our lives. We can finally, we can finally be ourselves. Like, this is who we really are. We really are these little beings of ease and creativity.
I'm just like, I'm hearing things, like I'm so childlike in my energy already, plus all the deep healing that I've done. And then you said celebrating, and I realized that it like has the word cell in it. So I see like my cell is having a little celebration.
Yeah. And there's some big stuff I can see just rising up, like with the creativity and with the ease. Like, there's some innovative, just genius that is rising to the surface, and I cannot wait to see what comes from that. This is something that's like, you may or may not be fully conscious or aware of it, but there's something that's going to change the game. It's like going to change the game for you. It's going to change the game for many people. And it's like you're creating the space for these ideas to come forward, because you have a very special way of doing this work that is different from how anybody else has done it. And this is giving yourself the space and the permission to be that leader, and to really step out and innovate. Like, I just see you as, it's almost like what's coming to my mind is like the next generation female Nikola Tesla.
I love that. I love it when science and energy cross, and I'm always talking about it, and I get excited over the science stuff, like to the point where I wonder if I drive people crazy because I'm like, isn't that so cool?
Yeah. Yeah. And this is, let's just see what comes from this, because it's really, really powerful. So really pay attention. The next step from this is to pay attention to the insights and ideas that come to you, and take action on them. So, but when I say take action on them, immediately within seconds of getting the ideas, you write them down, you tell another person. Feel free to tell me. Like, I love hearing about these things, and I'm so supportive of, whatever inspiration comes to you. And then take those next steps. And when you take that action, that's what really grounds in this new pattern for you. That's what breaks the cycle, is when you start doing things differently. All right. So, oh my gosh, we are almost at the end. Does anybody have any questions? I would love to hear, for everybody in the audience, I would love to hear your experience going through this journey with Katie. So feel free to let us know in the chat there. I love what Bricky said in the beginning, understanding of how to manage my energy and time a little more wisely, which is kind of like what you were just talking about, Katie. That's kind of like what so Bricky, if you're still here, if you're watching the replay, what the shift that we made with Katie, I think, is really going to help with those things as well. And Katie, what would you say your biggest intention was with that session?
Just to enjoy homeschool. Like, it's always been my pride and joy, and it's different now, and just like really loving the difference. And I just can't wait, because there has been a little bit of an internal struggle that I'm just like, how do I get around this? How do I get through this? And really, it's just like that deep acceptance and
Yeah.
just really like celebrating literally little cells.
I love it. I love it. Awesome. So I have a message for you and for everybody else about next steps. And before we end here, I also want to mention, if you all want to learn this process, or if you want to go deeper with this shifting and with this work, I have a way for you to get started for just $7. So let me know if you're interested in that. And I also I'm putting together these self-care packages, which is, I'm super excited about them. These are all of the things that I use to support myself as I'm doing this work. And it just, it helps me to stay energized and helps me to really connect spiritually and things like that. So I have those self-care kits for the people that enroll in the program, and they pay in one payment. And for the people that do a payment plan, it's just $7. So let me know if you want any more information about that. And you can text that. If you scroll up just a little bit up in the chat, you'll be able to see the phone number there where you can text me about that. So the message for all of us going forward and taking next steps is the wheel. And the wheel is about moving forward, and it's about moving forward with ease, right? Like, the invention of the wheel made everything so much easier. It made transportation easier. It made construction a lot easier. And the message says, a time of positive change. A situation suddenly moves forward. Fortune is on your side. So really get ready. And that is, as far as action steps, it's like, get ready for the things that you are looking for in your life, because those things are coming sooner than you can imagine. Awesome. All right.